This week on Inside Boulder News, Chief of Police Mark Beckner retires after 36 years with the city. Boulder's only bike share program will triple in size by July, and local leaders are honored for shaping the vision of business in Boulder. Welcome to Inside Boulder News. I'm Ashley Prill. After 36 years of serving the community and helping to build a safer Boulder, Chief of Police Mark Beckner is retiring. He started his career as a police officer just 3 weeks after graduating from college, and since then, he's certainly seen a lot of changes.
When I started, the pen was our most important instrument. Today it's, computers and in-car mobile data devices and smartphones and those sorts of things that officers use. Of course, we didn't have anything like tasers. We had to go hands-on with people much more often than officers do today. The forensic technology in terms of evidence processing and what you can use that has evidentiary value today is a lot different than 36 years ago. There was no such thing as DNA evidence, as an example. We could do blood typing, but that was about it. And then when DNA was developed, you had to have a pretty large sample to develop that DNA. And today, you need only a few cells.
Regardless of the advancements in technology, there are some things that will never change.
It really comes down to relationships with people and caring about the community. And in that sense, community policing is never going to go out of style. It's the way that we should police and how we police here in Boulder. And I think having those partnerships and relationships is key to solving crime and to solving problems within the community. And I don't think that's going to change.
Some of Beckner's highlights as chief include reorganizing the department, instituting a major crimes unit, developing and building a training center and firearms range, implementing code enforcement and animal control, and opening a CBI DNA lab. He also learned a thing or two about what it takes to lead the police department.
Well, I think number one is you've got to have integrity. You've got to instill a lot of trust in your employees. And primarily, you've got to be fair. You can't be somebody who gets emotional. You've got to remain calm in the face of crisis because people look up to you as their leader. And I think they kind of play off of you, and how you react. And so I always felt like, I had to show the strength that I expected others to have, and I think that rubbed off.
After retiring from the Boulder Police Department on April 1st, Chief Beckner plans on teaching college courses online for Norwich University. He'll be covering topics like criminal ethics, law enforcement administration, and basic investigation. You can find more information about his classes at norwich.edu. As we say goodbye to Chief Beckner, we also welcome a new member to the Boulder community. David Farnan was selected from a nationwide search to be the new Public Library and Art Director. Inside Boulder News sat down with him to find out what brought him to Boulder and what he sees for the future of our library system.
The community, obviously. The community is heavily invested in the library. They kind of treat it as if, in one sense, it's an extension of their living room. But then there's also a great sense of ownership. Some of the things that I want to do, there's a ton of them. A lot of them are already in the works. But I think probably the thing that people miss the most with libraries today is that it's not just a building. So we are really a kind of a commitment, both to literacy and to lifelong learning in the community. And so getting outside of our four walls is going to be a huge kind of impetus for the library under my direction. I love that we're investing a bunch of money in the buildings. So we're putting a lot of money into this building and opening up North Boulder. But we won't have succeeded if people walk in and they say, like, wow, what a nice new coat of paint, then we will have failed. What we really need to do is kind of change the way in which we interact with the community. And for me, that means not only the service levels that we provide inside, but getting outside of our four walls and beginning to interact with the community where they are. So
the North Boulder Corner Library will be opening on Monday, March 31st. Hours vary, so log on to boulderlibrary.org for the full schedule and more information about the official ribbon-cutting ceremony. Getting around Boulder without a car just got a whole lot easier. Boulder BCycle recently announced in a press conference plans to triple its bike share services around the city. The expansion begins on April 1st when BCycles will be available 24 hours a day. By July, riders will have access to 280 bikes at 38 different stations.
This allows us to meet so many important city goals. And as you know, in Boulder, We're very concerned about our environmental impacts, in particular our climatic impacts, and getting more people on bikes allows us to reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
We've had a transportation master plan since the late 1980s in this community. And it really, if you look at it, you see that there's a long-term commitment to providing a balanced multimodal system. And the bicycle system is a part of that multimodal system, and BCycle ties into that multimodal system.
You know, a large focus for our expansion is to offer a solution for folks to help transit riders make that first and final mile of their trip. More stations and more bikes gives more people the opportunity to make that transit connection.
Boulder business is dependent on so many employees being able to commute in and out of town, get around town conveniently. They are the assets that make the success of our businesses in town. And BCycle has become a critical link in the success of our transportation system.
The longer a person's commute is by car, the more likely they are to suffer cardiovascular disease and other chronic conditions. Biking makes you feel good, it makes you happy, gives you energy, helps people to concentrate and be productive at work.
For questions about how BCycle works, station locations, or rates, log on to boulderbcycle.com. To get involved in the conversation about Boulder's Transportation Master Plan, log on to bouldertmp.net. While staying in physical shape is always a good idea, you may also want to consider giving your creative muscles a workout. You can start your training program by participating in the inaugural Boulder Arts Week. Events will be held across the city to introduce you to the wide range of art happening in your own backyard.
Boulder Arts Week includes a variety of art forms and genres, theater, performance, dance, music, visual arts including photography, painting, sculpture. There will also be lectures, workshops, symposiums. It's family friendly. Some events are not family friendly, but the calendar is pretty clear about what events are family friendly and what events are a little more grown up.
The festivities begin today and run through April 6th. Many of the events during Boulder Arts Week are free. To get the calendar, go to boulderartsweek.org, where you can also download an app to help you navigate all of the activities while you're on the go. Always striving for the right balance in life is often considered a uniquely pursued value by the community in Boulder. That lifestyle value is also hard at work in the Boulder business community. On April 2nd, the Boulder Chamber will be honoring some of the leaders who have shaped the vision of Boulder business at the annual Celebration of Leadership event. Among the honorees will be Dave and Dee Height of McGuckin's Hardware, receiving the Franny Reich Business Hero Award, and Ryan Martins of Rally Software accepting the Business Person of the Year Award. Although they serve different industries, both award winners have a lot to share about balancing what defines success in business and life.
There you go. Hey, welcome. You have a nice day.
You know, the nice thing about a family business, usually they live here for a generation. Like Mr. Bovey had the Golden Buff Motel, and we were good friends. And people don't know, but they do a lot, I think, for your city. You know, helping it grow and being there all the time.
Here we go.
Having been here since 1960, why, we feel real good about getting the award. We started out with about 3,500 square feet, and we're about 60,000 now. When we moved from one store to the other, we had 18 employees. Then when we moved into this store, we had 80, and now we have about 260 or so. Well, you know, we don't have a lot of time left, but I have 2 sons in the business and a grandson and a daughter-in-law. And then I got a lot of key people like Randy Dilks here and that and been with me for 30, 40 years. I personally, in D2, my wife, we want the business to go on. People don't realize how long it takes to build something of this magnitude. So.
This is what's called the Business Person of the Year Award from the Boulder Chamber of Commerce. It was a surprise. I thought at one point in time I was wondering if it was spam. Well, so I did a little research thanks to some of the folks at the Chamber about why they named the award after Virginia. She's got a really interesting talk on YouTube about what she thinks about business in Boulder.
We offer common sense, practicality, vision, hard work, and caring. Not to leave out the environment, but to include the panoply of all that concerns us in our lives together here in Boulder.
She was really trying to address the notion of being proud to be in business in Boulder. Certainly you can look at Boulder as a place where we try to balance a lot of things, right? We're trying to balance the environmental, the social, as well as the business aspects of life, more so maybe than many other cities in the country. I think it takes a real humble personality as well as some confidence, and be able to occasionally pivot through a number of ideas to find the one that's really going to be desirable by lots of people, that can scale to really meet big needs around the globe. But it also takes a diverse management team, ones that's well representative of people who can execute, they can produce, they have the vision, but they can also stay integrated together and really hum as an executive team. And we've had that both those things here.
You can read more about the celebration of leadership and purchase tickets to the event at boulderchamber.com. Thank you for watching Inside Boulder News. Stay in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter by submitting news, tips, and questions. You can also sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe.